Okay, so this is part two. If you've missed part one, this is part two. Remember, if you don't have FL Studio, you can always send me a message to get it. I've given out so many versions of it. Good FL Studio to people. So now I'm gonna do the explanations of each of these interface options you see here. So let's go to tempo. Tempo is you select your sound. You select the kind of tempo you want to use. Tempo is how fast or slow the music is. So you get to select how fast or slow you want the music project. It's very important, you understand. It guides you. You can do that here or you can do that through here. Then the next one is your plugin picker. Now there's something called the VST plugin. Plugins are like electronic sounds, you understand. There are electronic sounds in music. There are anything electronic sound, just see it as plugins. So there's mixing plugin, there's beatmaker, but for now you should just focus on beat making plugin. So if you have your physical piano, your physical guitar, and the rest of all those stuffs, they all have the digital version. So the digital version of all your electronic instruments and the rest is called plugins. So they have different designs, just as you have Yamaha, Korg, Motifs, and the rest. And that's how you have them, and that's why they are like this. You have different versions, so different names. You can see a piano plugin made up of several pianos there. You understand? I'm going to show you right away. So there are two ways you can access plugin. Either you come to let me just give you the explanation first. Then the next one is your project. Well, you don't need that for now. This is your mixer. This is where you do your mixing and mastering. You do your mixing and mastering and whatever you want to do. You understand? Do all your mixing stuff. You mix the sound. You get used to that. I'm just doing the explanation for now. Then this is your browser. This is where you pick packs. There's something called packs. Packs are not electronic instruments. They are just drum sounds or wave files. They just come in waves. So you see the wave files there. I'm going to explain that in details as we keep going. Anyways, so then you get this one. This is your piano roll. This is if you play anything you want to further edit. That's when you now come to piano roll. Piano roll further opens up the files and shows you in depth of all those files. I'm still going to go further to explain that one by one. Then here we have channel rack. Channel rack is where you build what you want to build before you move them to the playlist. You understand? So you build what you want to build on your channel rack before you move them to the playlist. Then you have playlist. Playlist is where you arrange your songs, where you pattern the songs and make it look interesting and cool. Arrange the song very well. So that is it. Then you come to pattern selector. This is when you can choose several banks. So see, patterns are different kinds of banks. Memory banks. So each memory banks, you will have several memory banks. Then this is your minutes and counter. So this line here, if you come to line, if you left click, it's going to show you different bars and beats. Very important, because you need to know about bars and beats when making a beat, so that you know what kind of beat is this, which bar, which time signature is that. So this is where you select the time signature for your project. Then this is where you select your tempo, countdown, metronome, and blah blah blah. So that is it. So this is what you need to know at this point about this interface. So the next one will be I'll start explaining this guy in details. I'll see how I can explain them in details, so that you now need to know what is this, what and what is that. It's cool. So this will be the end of part 2. I'll do part 3. I don't like the video to be long, so I like it to be short, so it's easy for you to flow. So I'll do part 3, and I'll explain this interface one by one in details again, until you're familiar with the interface before you can start to say, okay, I want to start making beats and this. No, it's good for you to understand what you're doing before you go straight to beats. Do you understand? So see you in part 3.